Hi and welcome to Chris Ryan Golf. We are at the Belfry again today. We're in the Callaway fitting suite, and in this video we're going to give you 3 key points that you can focus on to ensure your trail foot action is good through your golf swing. So we're just focusing on the trail foot in this video. In my case it's the right foot for right-handed golfer, and we're going to look at, just to say, 3 key things that you can focus on to give yourself better foot action. Now, we're not really going to hit many shots offline because of what the foot does. You know, we're not suggesting that how this foot functions through the golf swing is going to massively affect the golf ball, but how we use our body is going to affect how we use our foot. So if we do see anything that's happening in that foot which isn't maybe as we'd want it to be, we can often link that back and we see some faults during the golf swing. So the first thing we're going to look at is something that's during the backswing, and this would be point number 1. And point number 1 would be, we do not want any roll in that trail foot during the backswing. So what do I mean by that? Well, if we just look at that right foot, what we are after here is a foot which stays about in its position here. We do not want that foot, as we go back, to roll onto the outside. This is something we do see quite commonly. So you can see how the inside of my foot has raised up a little bit. I certainly feel all the pressure is on the outside of my trail foot. So this is something we want to avoid. Why it happens is more to do with what's happening in the hips and in the knees. So as I take my starting position here, you can see how my right knee is inside of my trail foot. My right hip is also inside of my trail foot. We want to try and keep that relationship as we make our backswing. If I can keep that relationship, i.e. my hip and my knee slightly inside my foot, I should be okay. When we see this roll, it's very often because the hip or the knee, or both in many cases, start to move over this way, and you can see there that I've actually moved those alignments a little bit, and that's going to give me some different feels and different pressures through that right foot. So the point number 1 is to make sure there's no roll in that trail foot, making sure that we keep the hip and the knee inside of that foot as we make our backswing. So that's point number 1. Point number 2 is that we do not want the heel to come off the ground too early. So if I take a setup this way, what I mean by that is when we get to the top of the backswing, we do not want that heel to come up too early. This is something, again, we see quite commonly. We do not want this heel down too long, right the way through to here. That would be a little bit too long, but certainly we don't want that heel to come up too soon. If it comes up too soon, often it can lead to a couple of different things. What it can often lead to is a little bit what we call early extension. So early extension would be when that heel comes up, the hips move in towards the ball, the upper body stands up a little bit, and we start to lose the angles that we set at address. If we don't get early extension, that heel coming up can often mean that the right hip gets too high, the right shoulder gets too high, and we often see the sort of club moved out into this position where we stand the shaft up too much, a little bit too steep, and often from there we're going to struggle to hit the sort of shots that we want. So we do not want that heel to come up too soon. A really good feeling for that is to make your backswing and just feel as if we start our downswing, shift some pressure into our lead side, but you can see quite clearly that my heel is staying very, very grounded. Okay, it's still nicely on the ground, it hasn't begun to lift up. As we approach impact, we'll probably start to see the foot roll a little bit and the heel begin to lift. That's absolutely fine. We're just trying to make sure that doesn't happen too soon. So that's point number 2. Point number 3 would be making sure that the heel does not go away from the target through impact into the follow through. So if I just show you what I mean, and I've done a video on this, but if I was to put, there you go, you've got a line on my trail heel there. What we want to make sure is that when we go through impact into the follow through, the heel never goes away from the target. So you can see there that my heel is at no point further from the target than it was at setup. What we tend to see quite a lot is as we move through the impact area into a follow through, the heel is going to go away from the target and often finishes further from the target than it was at setup in this position here. That tends to happen when 2 things are evident in the golf swing. Either that golfer isn't moving enough weight forward into the downswing. Okay, so they may be staying a little bit on this back foot. If we're on this back foot, we're going to tend to find that we spin a little bit more and the back heel goes away from the target. So either you're not shifting enough weight forward in the downswing, or it could be that you're shifting enough pressure through in the downswing, but then this lead hip through impact is actually backing up, moving away from the target, and that means we're staying a little bit too much in forward flexion here. We actually want to feel that once we've changed that pressure, moved the pelvis a little bit forward, we continue to push it forward into this nice extended follow-through position. If we can do that, we should find that that heel can work correctly it can work into this position up here, and it never goes further away from the target. So there's three things there, all linked to the trail foot, but also in turn linked to areas of the golf swing that might need attention. I say, if the foot action is poor, it's often because something in the golf swing is happening which we don't want to happen, and that's causing that foot to sort of, or it's causing the fault to show itself in that trail foot. I would often get golfers to work on good foot action because it goes hand in hand with good mechanics and good positions in the golf swing, and it tends to link nicely into some places that we'd like the golf club to be. If we can swing the golf club in a fashion that we would like to do, we'll often find that the foot action is good as a result, and the two work hand in hand, okay? So a few little points there. If you can focus on that foot action, I think you'll find that you'll hit some better shots. And if you find that your foot action is poor, you may well be able to link that to the swing faults that we've discussed, and that might help you, maybe work on some areas of that golf swing. Let me hit a couple of shots, and we'll see how we get on. Okay, pretty happy with that one. I'll just hit one more and show you from a slightly different angle so you can see more of the heel. Okay, and again, pretty happy with that. So 3 points. If you can focus on those, your trail foot will function better in the golf swing. And as I say, that can only lead to better swings and better shots as a result once you get on the golf course. So hopefully it made sense. Hopefully you can work on those three things. Hopefully it will give you some better shots. And ultimately that's what we're trying to do. So thanks very much for watching the video. If you like the video, then click the like button. Any comments, whether that's about this video or any of the videos, you can post those in the boxes down below, and I'll do my best to respond to them as I can. And please subscribe to my channel for more weekly videos. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again next time.